Guys, this is Chetan for Gizmo Times and you're watching a gaming review of the Realme 6. Realme 6 is coming with the Helio G90T chipset from MediaTek, and it has the Mali G76 MC4 GPU. So this particular chipset is made for gaming. It was in the mid-range pricing earlier, with the Redmi Note 8 Pro having the same power. So it's the same chipset here. Let's check out the benchmarks before we start the game. 2,54,000 is the score for the Realme 6 with the Helio G90T, and the Mali G76 MC4 GPU is supposedly giving a great performance, but let's see how it does. Also, this phone has 90Hz display, so even though PUBG Mobile can't do that, we'll try to do a separate video with the 90Hz games being played on this phone to show you how well does the phone handle that as well. So before we start, the phone is at almost 100%, I guess. Let me check out the battery stats here. So it's at 99% right now, and along with that, let's also go to the uh, temperature test, and we'll check out the temperature right now for the phone. It's around 28 degrees on the front of the phone, and towards the back it should be 28.3. The ambient temperature of the room is about 26, so it's almost the same temperature. The phone wasn't used much before this. We'll now start the PUBG Mobile game and show you the gameplay, also the graphic settings that are possible, and after a certain amount of time, the battery drain as well as the heating. So this is the PUBG Mobile game on the Realme 6 smartphone, and these graphic settings here. So HD is possible with Ultra, HDR with Ultra is there as well, so that's a great thing. Smooth and extreme, that's something that we always consider for a phone. If that phone has the smooth plus extreme option, we try to go play with that and probably end up buying the phone. Most of you would buy it for the smooth plus extreme option, not the HDR Ultra, because HDR gameplay looks good but always is dragging. And unfortunately, the KF Mark tool, the testing tool for the FPS is not working, so I won't be able to show it. But in case in future we are able to get that working on this phone, we'll be including that as well. Towards the bottom is the speaker and also the headphone jack if you play the phone, if the game with the headphone jack. But obviously on this phone you should be playing it with the headphones, because it's a single firing speaker. You won't be able to notice the sounds properly from the other side. It's only a single firing speaker here. So you can see it's smooth here, and we'll see how smooth it actually is going to be when we play the game. And in between, while we are playing the game, I'll turn on the gyroscope as well, so that you will be able to see the performance of the gyroscope in this device. So we'll be doing a Pochinki hot drop rather, because expect people to land there. The only aim would be to see if there are any lags when there are a lot of enemies dropping at the same time. So clearly, based on the landing itself, we usually try to give an assessment. So here I felt that the landing was pretty smooth. I mean, not the landing but the jump, because as soon as we jump, sometimes what happens is there are those lags and you can't even get a proper touch response at that time. Here it was smooth, so it's because of the GPU, and that is able to handle things well so far. So you can see so far this has been quite a smooth gameplay. There were no lags at all, and things have been pretty smooth enough, which was expected from this particular chipset. But then on a phone that is priced under 15,000, you would usually think that there are a few compromises done. So far that has not been the case, and the phone seems to be super smooth and good enough for what is offered. So what is the gameplay is, but otherwise things are pretty consistent so far. There have been no issues with the gameplay or the gaming performance of this chipset. It has been super smooth. So now we have played for about 10 to 12 minutes. Let me now turn on the gyroscope so that you see the performance of that as well. Let's go to the gyroscope settings and see the sensitivity. It's at 205, which is the default usually. So let's see if it does well there. Though as I always say, we don't practice a lot on gyros, so I'm not sure how good the performance of this would be. But you can see it's pretty reliable. I mean, it's pretty responsive. So while driving, we'll at least be able to see how good the handling of that is. And so far, as I said, things have been pretty consistent. Something that you would anyway expect from this chipset, but then we had our own doubts. Only thing is, I see a major warming of the device already, but we'll see after we end up somewhere. We'll check out the temperatures during the midway. So as you have seen, it has been smooth enough. Now let me turn off the gyroscope. I mean, frankly, the gyroscope performance. Oh, that was unexpected, but then okay. Anyway, we'll play another game, but that should be with the HDR and Ultra and without the gyroscope. I can say that at least the gyroscope was smooth and not bad at all. Let's see how it goes with the next game with the HDR and Ultra. And before we go into that, the temperatures right now 44 degrees around that is the temperature here. It's actually 46, almost 46 degrees, 45.5 towards the front top, that where the start button is or where the buttons are. This is the area where the phone is getting heated up a lot. Towards the center, the company has mentioned that there's a graphite sheet plus also the copper foil, which is trying to keep the temperatures chilled enough. So here it's not heated up much, but towards the top and towards the corner it's heated up, going up to 45 degrees, 46 degrees as well. And in these days, I mean the phones of these days, haven't seen a lot of phones going to these temperatures, but it was expected with the Helio G90T chipset here. So now this should probably be the last game, and here we are going to HDR and Ultra, the maximum possible setting. I'll again tell you frankly that we aren't doing the FPS test only because the app wasn't working, so we hope it works in the near future, and we'll try to then show you the performance and also the frame rate test. So this is HDR and Ultra. Obviously you might see some frame drops or lags which was not present with the smooth and extreme at all. Where it actually was smooth with the extreme frame rate, this doesn't seem to be really smooth at the current moment, but let's continue playing it. So far we can say that it has been pretty smooth, not bad at all. And I can say that for a mid-range phone, this is not a bad performance at all. The phone has been performing quite well. With the options that are available, that's the HDR and Ultra as well as Smooth plus Extreme. It has been able to deliver that quite well, except for the HDR Ultra where we saw some lags, not heavy frame drops, but some lags in between. And that was not when we were in a combat. I mean, when we were shooting and that fight was happening, nothing happened. So that was good enough. But otherwise, it was all good. It was all smooth enough for most of the time. And apart from that, we will end the video here anyway, but uh, let's check out the temperatures as well as the battery drain on this device. So right now the temperatures are about 46 degrees, which I said earlier as well. 46 is the temperature that the phone has gone up to, and towards the bottom it has gone up to 40 degrees. Towards the back it should be the same, around 39 degrees towards there, and towards the top it has easily crossed about 45 degrees, and the ambient room temperature right now is about 27 degrees. So obviously the phone has heated up. It's not that it doesn't heat up, it easily is heating up quite a bit. And apart from that, now let's go to check out the battery drain as well. And don't worry, we'll play the game continuously later once we are done with this video. So under the battery settings, if you now check out the battery here, it has drained down to 88% from 99%, so 11% battery drain. And that was for about a full game. It was almost a full game. So background active time was 26 and 38, around 25 minutes is what I say. So it won't be able to give you the same battery life as some of the other phones would do because of the heating issues here. There's heating, so obviously the battery life is going to be a bit different. But otherwise it has a 30-watt fast charging solution, so in case your phone is going to drain the battery quickly, it can be charged quickly as well. So apart from the heating issue, there's nothing, and the phone has been doing quite well in that aspect. So I would say that if you're someone who does take a bit of a break in between and wants to play a good game with a good chipset, this is quite a good phone to consider because it does perform well. There were no issues with the performance, so that has been consistent. The only issue was with the heating of the device, nothing else. So that's it in this video. This was the gaming review of the Realme 6 smartphone with the Helio G90T chipset. I hope you like this video. If you do share and subscribe to Gizmo Time some more. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.